Welcome to the Liquid Late Nights podcast. Ooh, Lordy. Listen, we're going to do this, so go ahead and get your shot glasses ready. It's cold. It's going to get colder, even here in Florida. And I don't know what to tell you about that, but it's, you know,
you don't want my take on it, right?
I mean, you could make a take. What do you want to say? They cut.
We can use a little. It's going to get hot enough here soon enough. So a few days of 40 or 50 degrees not going to hurt anybody.
40 or 50?
Well, 30s at night.
29.
Dude,
I'm inland. I'm not off the water. I'm not the
I'm
beautiful.
still
I'm the
not
beautiful
putting my
Gulf.
heater on, boss man. I'm just,
All
my
right.
bill goes down right now. No air conditioning stuff. My Tico bill is like coming in last couple of months. I'm saving $50, $60, so I'm not complaining. Okay, let's be clear about that.
All right.
Where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do here?
All right, we're gonna kick off today with little discussion about revolutionary, about a real icon of the community, Angela Davis.
Well, okay, so I was reading this because her birthday was yesterday, so she's like 82 years old. And I just thought it was it's a person I actually met when I was back in college, and I guess I'll put it this way before I get into all the other stuff. When I was like in high school, right, there was a lot of things going on in California, and actually Angela Davis was a professor at UCLA, and she was probably not even 30 yet. That's how brilliant this woman is. She was there, okay, but something happened. There was some shootouts and stuff in Oakland, and the Soledad brothers, and so it ended up. I guess the guns was registered to Angela, and so they was looking for her. So this one she was on the FBI, one of the FBI most wanted list as a young person, and it was out of control for like in the 71 to 72. So the reason I say that is because the pictures I saw living here in Florida at the time, you think this was some person, what I mean, some murderers with the horns on the head, and because that's how they presented her. It was like Black Panther. She was not. Well, she was nowhere in the Black Panther Party, but she was with the movement in California. And they were doing stuff in the early 70s. And in the South, they portrayed them like crazy people with guns, and because I didn't realize at the time as being a 15, 16-year-old, but it was something different. So, and then later on, I don't know, and when I was in my college days, I had an opportunity to actually meet her on the campus here in Tampa, the University of South Florida, and this was a total different human being from what they had presented her to be. She was intelligent. She was soft spoken. She was also a student. She was just it blew my mind because what the media had gave me as this person, and she wasn't that at all. I mean, she wasn't that at all. And so when I saw this yesterday, I said, well, I could just Angela Davis at one point was a symbol of the movement because when the FBI had her wanted poster, the giant afro. If you know nothing about her, everybody knows about her big afro and different. And she was smart. She had a PhD. She's she studied in Paris. She went to all these different, all those.
Yeah.
She was something, and she still is. And she doesn't teach professionally anymore, but she still lectures, and she was at UC Santa Cruz. But in those days, I mean, can you imagine what was going on? So I'll open some questions because it's somebody that if you don't know, like, I've read about this woman a lot, and I just know it's just. I asked somebody today. I said, "Have you heard of Angela Davis?" No, I was talking to Sid. He said, "No." I said, "Man, I'm gonna do a podcast about it because most people don't know." She's from Birmingham, Alabama.
Mhm.
Where she lived in Birmingham, they used to call it Dynamite Hill. You know why? Because the Klan and the white supremacists was always blowing up black people's churches and their houses there in Alabama, where she's from. And so it's before they moved to family moved, just left Alabama and went to the West Coast. She's from the same community as Condoleezza Rice, who was from that area. Who just died? Oh, Bill Russell. Black people who was in Birmingham that left. They either left and went to eh, I think the train to get out of Birmingham, it was a train to go from Birmingham to Denver. When Denver, you were safe. Once you got to Denver, you were okay. Then a lot of people went to the West from there. That's a story, and that's where her family's from. It's just amazing. I saw her on what's this thing that Skip Gates does? Dr. Henry Louis Gates does Finding Your Roots.
Oh, Finding Your Roots, yeah.
So, and he did a piece with her, and she was adopted, and they found out stuff about her mother, and because she's a light woman, so she's a mixed woman in Alabama. So they ended up finding out her mother's father was a very prominent lawyer in Birmingham, white guy, right?
Hmm.
And they found some old pictures. She said, "That man looks." She said, "He looks like my mother." But the facial features and everything. It's a trip how it is here in the South. And then Louis Gates did some stuff, and he did that guy's family line. And he found out that from the Brewster's family that she was related to one of the original people who came in the United States on the Mayflower. That's true. If you want to do it, just go find Skip Gates story on that. I saw that a year or two ago. It was just, and she would laugh. She's like, "What? No, what? No, yes, yes." And you do genealogy. And I've seen, but it's just it's Angela was involved in a lot of stuff. She helped the Panthers. She helped the students. They did the student movement, the breadbasket program when they was feeding the kids. They helped set up these things. The first program that the Panthers did in Oakland, that whole area in Northern California, they helping the school kids, lunch programs and things like that. So they made them when I was growing up seem like they were radicals with guns and want to just kill cops or kill white people. That wasn't what they were doing. They were trying to help people, but the socialization of our society demonized them. The same thing like with Dr. King. I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, "Do you know that Dr. King was on the FBI most wanted list?" And Dr. King, what did he do? He was just trying to help people. He was the pastor of the church at nonviolent. He was on the most wanted list. It was a hit on the man, which eventually got satisfied. But now we got all these distorted stories. But she was, and I just want to talk about it a little bit. So, question on that?
I mean, I love the fact that, talked about she had to, she left the way to get, go to school outside the U.S. because she wasn't getting those real opportunities here. She went and studied in Paris, which is crazy to me. Like, if I had that opportunity to study abroad like that, like really study abroad, I would have taken it because that's, you get a different perspective. And I think that's probably helped her in her, and they talked about that, helped her in kind of seeing that, the struggle and the movement and the issues that she was seeing at home.
Well, get a different view on life. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trip. It's just, but you don't. Yeah, but you have to get out of the States because this person, you have to think if she was born in 1844, so by the mid 60s, she was 20, right? Like the Voting Rights Act, Civil Rights Act, that's 64 and 65. So she was like 20. So that's a whole different kind of age, but it's just a lot to be involved with at this time. So this person is incredible, and she's still here, still kicking. But I just wanted to do this. It's just you're right. She travels. She's a committed socialist or a communist, and that's why people used to use that against her sometimes. A feminist. She's a lesbian. What you call it? She's an alphabet LBQ.
No, she's a lesbian. She's declared lesbian at this point, but she's supportive of the LGBTQ community. She's community communist, which one reason UCLA kind of fired her after because Reagan was governor.
Reagan, right? The Reagan.
It always comes back to Reagan.
Reagan was governor of California at those days, but they had to hire her back.
Yeah.
So it's an incredible person. If anybody, you got to do some work. I can talk those things when I have, but having met her and talked to her and feel her energy face to face, it's just, again, as a young person, I was much younger than her at that point. It was incredible. And so I just want to put that out there. Just go take a look, do some reading and stuff like this. Just, yeah. But again,
we're always about that off, that own personal development, that own reading on your own, because you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that in the.
Now you got to go do some research.
Yeah.
Because these days, the information is out there. You just go to one of these AI platforms and ask a question. All that stuff just pops right up.
Here, let me put 2 cents on that. Go to an actual place where they have an actual book and read something.
Well,
Listen, I understand the internet has the full range of stuff, but sometimes it's good to go get this source material because in these times,
it's a lot of this stuff. I know there's a lot of stuff that's not true bots. You got to drill it down. But I agree with that also. But sometimes you can ask it for books or whatever to go look for, and you can find those also. because she has autobiographies and different things she's done. It just this person, she still lectures and stuff. Like you can, if you got a few dollars, you can pay. She's it costs a few dollars to see a lecture, but I like it. I just thought it was something to touch on. You know.
Yeah, that's good stuff. People, do your homework. Angela Davis, read up, please. Get some
She was in
knowledge.
Paris in 1975. That was after all the stuff here with the FBI and stuff. Because again, I was in high school when this was going on, and I was in high school in the early '70s, and I only got bits and pieces because I'm in the South. I'm behind the Cotton Curtain. You ain't getting very much.
This man said behind the cotton curtain.
I stole it from Isaac Hayes. But anyway,
so. Lord. All right, so look that up. Only other thing I'm going to hit in the open real quick, just because the date came up to me. I remembered I did want to talk about it when it came up because I know they did Day of Remembrance a couple of days ago, but today is the 40th anniversary of the Challenger disaster. I just want to bring it up because that was, for me, a pivotal moment. I know where I was at when it happened, and I know for other people my generation that's a big deal.
Where were you? High school, in grade school, someplace?
No, I was in middle school. I was in middle school, like 6th grade.
Pinching some? No.
Stop. Listen, and I did not. I know some people had TVs in the room, watched it live. Some people were outside and watched it live because we were in the middle of Central Florida. You could see it. You could see the clouds.
Outside. I remember we were outside watching.
Well, okay. So now here's the thing about it. It was as cold then as it is today, which is the problem with that day. It was cold. It may have been colder there than it is today.
No, yeah, it got down to. It was probably as cold as it's going to be this weekend. It got down to about 28. I remember. Because that's what cracked the O-rings. Because the O-rings were not rated for that at all.
But it was like the big hype for that was the teacher in space,
Chris McAuliffe.
And because I was at work, I still remember the day because we walked outside and we could once we heard something had happened, because space flights, the shuttle flights were routine during those days. It was going up every 3 or 4 months, so nobody was going outside. But then when that happened, we went outside and you could see the plume, you could see the separation, and I was here in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? 86? 20 years, right?
40 years. So 80.
I can't count. Never mind. Yeah, 40 years.
Yeah. 86.
Damn, I'm not that old.
Me neither.
Okay, anyway, never mind.
GQ.
So yeah, but it was total shock.
Yeah, you got to remember this. No matter what happens, these things are, we're still at the very beginning. These things are still dangerous. Like you said, we were sitting on a rocket fuel of just gasoline and just light it up.
We still using 19th century technology to go into space. That's the point, because we haven't figured nothing out. They didn't tell us what they figured anything out of it.
We got Artemis 2. We got Artemis 2 in a couple of weeks when that window opens.
The Chinese are going to kick them when they figure nothing power.
Listen, they're going to circle. They're not landing. They're going to go circle, but they go further out.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, they're not landing. They're going to take the same path. Technically, I heard that as Apollo 13 had, because when Apollo 13 had to come back, it kind of took them on a kind of outrange orbit to get back around the moon. So it's the same kind of path. So they're going to be out. They're going to be out far, but they're not landing. But I just want to bring that up because Challenger definitely was for us. As I remember even talking about this in college, like in the late '90s, early 2000s in college. They're talking about, well, what's the seminal event of Gen X, what you guys don't have anything like, Vietnam War, or, whatever. I'm like, half the room was like, Challenger. So we're going to move on from that, but I just want to bring that up as well. Let's get into a little sports action. I think one or two of you need to owe me an apology.
Who's apologizing?
All right, so Seattle's in the Super Bowl. Okay, you happy now?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was told that LA was all that and a bucket of chicken, extra fried for Crenshaw.
Sometimes you lose. They're not from. Well, they are Crenshaw and Imperial. Yes, of course, but they lost. It happened.
All right. I just want you to recognize. I just want you to acknowledge that them boys going, and the whole country's going to be behind it because nobody wants to see the Patriots get it again except Patriot fans.
Really?
Really? There's more Patriot haters than there are Patriot fans, and there's a lot of Patriot fans.
There's bars on Soho here, like They got a Patriot bar on the corner out there. It's
Oh no, the
crazy.
bar's here. No, I know they deep. I'm just saying nobody wants to see
Well,
it.
I'm going to Seahawks because they're West Coast, but it's not that I got anything to get the Pats or not, but I'll go to the Seahawks.
Yeah, there you go.
Because Sam Johnson has a good story. His story is good. He been kicked around like a wet noodle days and days and days. So to get there, we got 2 weeks to deal with that. So all the hype I had enough, but that's okay.
Hey, if it's not the Super Bowl, if it's not hype, it ain't the Super Bowl. Come on, man.
Well,
That's what we're here for. We're here for commercials. We're here for hype. We're here for
the game's always in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pro Bowl's going to also be out there. Actually, I didn't know. They decided to put it out there near, in.
So that's this weekend coming up.
Yeah. The flag football game, all the side activities. The last couple of years they did it here in Orlando, but they should have decided to put it as part of the regular Super Bowl activities in the same host city. Get that money.
It's smart.
It's smart.
Because that area up there, hey, what do you want?
That stadium's not that old, right? That new stadium for the 49ers.
Yeah, they moved from Candlestick Park and went out there, but they've probably been there 20 years though. It's been a while. Because I was watching it when the Niners was smoking, they were at Candlestick, but that's early 80s. No, the 80s.
That's Jerry Rice. That's Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice and Joe Montana. Then when Sevion, they had some good teams, boss man. Prime time was there one year. They won the championship for about 90 or 89 or 90. But yeah, okay. Long time.
So figure out where you're going to watch your games at. Everybody got deals. Or not
so
deals.
what's it you all side because Belichick didn't get into the hall? I see that stuff.
I was just bringing it up because I think it was funny, and apparently ESPN thinks it's hyped up. and your boy Brady's mad about it, and other people popping in.
It's foul in the sense because the guy had the credentials to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Just because he got a young woman, don't be mad. Yeah.
Apparently, that wasn't the discussion. They don't really cares about that. Everybody caught a young woman. It's the NFL, but the Spygate, Deflategate, there was a lot of stuff, and I think honestly, probably there's some hate. People didn't like Belichick when he was in the league. We know that. I don't think you can. I don't think you can name names, but you probably know people don't like him. So I figure when it came up, they're like, we ain't gonna do it. He's gonna get in.
Yeah, but that's foul though, dude. That's really foul.
That's the game.
And I'm not all that about it. But I'm just saying it's foul.
Yeah, but that's the game. The Hall of Fame is that's not necessarily.
So you're trying to say political?
Oh yeah, that's what I was getting to. It's not just the numbers. This is politics, baby.
I wouldn't know. Fine.
Listen, you're going to be hot if your boy doesn't go in his first ballot. The king.
Good boy.
When LeBron is eligible to get into the NBA Hall of Fame, if he didn't go in on the first ballot.
LeBron has a few more years to play for it. We're talking 10 years down the road. He's going to play for another 5 years.
Are you sure? Because again, this how I know it's the slow part of the year right now. Because ESPN's next story after Belichick was, is this LeBron's last game in Cleveland?
It's tonight. Yeah. No. Okay, listen. First of all, I'm sorry we got off of it just for a second. So LeBron is like, he's on final this deal that's paying him $53 million. So nobody's going to pay him that kind of money. The Lakers can't pay him that kind of money. They're going to sign him to a team-friendly deal. I'm thinking, like Brian Scott said, $30-40 million for a 2-year deal. $15-20 million. You can pay him. He's worth that kind of money. But he ain't worth 50 at his age. And they'll do that. He'll be with the Lakers. He ain't going any place. No matter what the ESPN article, all these things saying, he ain't going any place. And if he take a $15-20 million deal, now they got extra $30 million. They can bring somebody else in to make the team. Trust me on this. They'll get it done.
Giannis?
No, I'm not so excited about Giannis. But you have to give it the farm to get him. It's not worth it to me. I'm not a GM, but whatever. I just play one on TV, but it's a. I don't know.
All right. I just want to bring it up because I just thought
I know you did.
Interesting. Actually, interesting. It's all good. You brought this next one up, so you figure out what's going on. What is this NHL Stadium?
Well, no, they're doing hockey. NHL is doing this thing. They had one. They had it in at Chavez Ravine in Los Angeles. My buddy was out there last week. He went to the game. They're doing these outdoor hockey matches. They had it in Miami 2 or 3 weeks ago. So this weekend in Tampa, Raymond James, the Tampa Bay Lightning are playing the Boston Bruins outdoors. That's February 1st. It's gonna be insane here because I'm getting a lot of ticket. My business, I'm getting upticks and people are gonna go. It's gonna be pretty wild. But if the temperature's right, it's gonna be chilly here. It's around about 50. But it's just NHL is that they're trying to raise their profile, which I don't blame them. So the whole concept of outdoor, you can put more people if people come. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be wow. So yeah, I think it starts at 4 something like that Sunday evening, and yeah. So
Okay.
you instead of because Benchmark hosts 20,000, so you can get maybe they'll get 30,000, maybe because it's Boston. Trust me, the people from Boston will be here this weekend in Tampa. For that matter, it's going to be a lot of people here. I didn't think about it. They will be because they travel like that. The Bruins people travel. They always come to Tampa. It's better here at 50 than in Boston right now at 0. Huh? In Boston at 0 degrees, it's better to be here. So yeah, so I threw that in there, but I'm not going. But I'll be again watching on television.
Okay.
But again, they was in Miami a few weeks ago. My friend was in Los Angeles last weekend. He's back in Tampa now, but he went out because he's well from California. He was out. He said he went and it was a great time. They were at Chavez to watch it. Anyway, that's the Dodger Stadium. It's Chavez Ravine.
We're gonna check it out.
Anyway, what do I know from that?
So once again, as always, thank you so much for listening to the Liquid Late Nights podcast. We're on all your finer streaming platforms. Like and subscribe. Remember to hit us up on youtube.com/Liquid Late Nights. Always online at liquidlatenights.com. Merch store coming soon. We got to monetize, baby. And we out. Peace.